Should we introduce ourselves?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does this have to move? Put it right
You
here.
can wherever you want. Okay. I cheated.
Oh.
He stayed.
Yep.
Let's talk about it. Unfiltered. Unfiltered. For the record, we are not therapists. We're not pretending that we have anything figured out whatsoever. Um, I work a 12-step program. He does whatever works for him. And it's working, so I don't give a shit. That's the thing I feel is a big thing in marriages when people get sober. They want to control. That's the thing I feel is a big thing in marriages when people get sober. They want to control the other person's sobriety. Like you don't usually get on my case for like going to meetings and shit like that though.
No, I'd rather you go to meetings. Right.
Yeah, I know, but you're not like you need to go to a meeting. I mean,
No.
there's been a couple times. Let's be for real.
Yeah. Well, I think that's important to your sobriety.
No, for sure. I'm a better human because of it. But I think people are gonna ask and want to know like what you have done to fucking keep your head above water. To be honest, I think people just want to know
Well,
that.
like right now or through the
No,
through the
let's
years.
let's talk about the 2017 times of our lives.
2017.
26. No, what? No, that was before we moved here.
Before we moved here.
It was 2016 though.
Oh, well, yeah. My head wasn't above water.
I know. How did you crawl your way out to get to this point?
Well, I had to stop focusing on you. Stop because when this kind of shit happens, you it becomes like an obsession. You remember?
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, I was like obsessed with trying to catch you and blah 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 and all this, and I became.
He would like army crawl.
Yeah.
On the side of my bed to look at my phone.
Yep. It became. I mean, I was just super sick.
Were you drinking?
Yeah. I was drinking. I was doing everything that would not benefit me. Right, and then and that's not what you do, and that's because then I was just spiraling downwards, right. Spiritually, mentally, physically.
Do you think? I don't think I've ever asked you this question. I don't even know if I want to ask it.
Ask it.
Do you think if I wouldn't have gotten sober, you would have started changing? Because you were in a bad spot in early sobriety.
Do you say that again?
I said, do you think if I would not have gotten sober, you would have started your whole healing journey? Because you were really sick in the beginning.
Probably eventually, but I think I probably would have left.
Right.
Yeah. And then.
Were you like super close to it before I got sober?
Oh yeah, I wanted to do it every single day. Yeah. But like we talked about this yesterday, and I always felt like like a coward for not.
Was it just like too much work? Like
I was like, I mean, it's just easier to ignore you, and at one point I was just like, I'm just gonna live my own life and coexist, and yeah, nothing was worth it to me.
You were just gonna be miserable?
Well, no. I mean, I would, like not in my mind though. In my mind, I was like, I'm just gonna coexist, live my own life, do what I want. She does what she wants.
Oh my god! But some people do that, and they're just not willing to like get super uncomfortable and talk about like.
Yeah, Well, like I think things changed when I got myself right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I stopped drinking. Drink because I was drinking like every day, every night that I
Right.
could.
I know.
You know, and drinking just leads to bad decisions, right? So yeah, and then like just mentally that was fucking me up. So I got my shit together, and I stopped the drinking, and then I hit the gym again. The physical part, and then the spiritual part came last, where I was like,
That's surprising.
I have you. Well, that's the way it happened for me.
Right.
Because I couldn't, have a relationship with God if I'm drunk, or I
Do you know
if
I
I
went to church drunk
yeah, absolutely.
multiple
You
times?
everything you did drunk. Yeah.
And I didn't even like think twice about it. And look at you. You're like, I couldn't
I
have a relationship because I'm like,
well, yeah.
don't you think that's fascinating?
No, it's it's ridiculous. It's not fascinating.
I think it's fascinating. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I just don't. What?
Oh no, good.
You had something.
I'm just
Go.
thinking. That's all. What you got?
I think we kind of just glazed over what led up to the cheating, and I think that's a
Yeah.
super important piece because if we don't acknowledge that, then there's going to be people out there like, how the fuck did you get from being so in love to, oh,
Gosh.
let's.
Well, like everybody's story is so different, right? Our story was infused with alcohol. Our story was infused with alcohol. So from the beginning,
The beginning.
from the beginning,
Tell them the beginning.
Oh, yeah, well,
I gave him all the red flags.
all of them.
Like they were fucking
Yeah,
flailing
and like
all fucking over.
the fuck was I thinking? I wasn't, I guess.
I was good looking.
Yeah, I was just a dude, man. Like, right? A dude chasing, you know.
He was like, had just moved to Minnesota.
No, I
He
moved
didn't
from
know.
Minnesota, not to Minnesota.
Yeah. I think I said from.
No, you didn't.
Okay. Anyways.
Stroke.
Yes. He was just so innocent. Just
yeah, probably to a certain degree.
You were.
Well, I had just gotten back from school.
Right.
I retrained, and it so happens to be the job in the Air Force. The job I went to when I came here was to be a cop. So I went to school for that, and then I came back and met her. Ironically, right? Because like I was like
me.
I was like driving patrol and pulling people over, calling you like, I remember talking to you on the phone, like running radar or whatever I was doing, and you were like probably wasted. Because I didn't know you. I just was like, this chick's kind of hot. Let's see what's what. And then I remember, I think I was getting off shift or maybe off shift. I worked night shift, and we were on the phone. That should have been a red flag. I was on the phone with you at like 4 a.m, right? I don't think
that should have been a red flag.
And she was like going in and out of consciousness, and me just getting out of like that school, and I'm like, oh fuck, So I'm calling the fire department, head over there, do a welfare check, all that bullshit.
We hadn't even been married yet. I think we had had sex one time, and he still stayed. So it just shows me how sick he was when I don't think he realized how much trauma he did have. You do. You didn't grow up with the greatest family.
Well, no,
if you came
who
from
does?
A healthy, but if you came from a healthy family, what I'm trying to say is you would.
I would have recognized those, and
yes,
but like
ran for the hills.
My mother was an alcoholic, right?
Yeah.
My dad was just verbally abusive, that whole thing, like the tale as old as time, really, right? And then I probably thought, oh, this is normal.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Which is insanity.
Yeah, you need time to like reflect on why you're making decisions, you know? Like why am I thinking this way? It's not normal, you know.
But I don't think for the longest time we looked at our life as not normal. I know I didn't.
What do you mean art like when we were together?
Yeah, like our marriage, like I'm like, well, all marriages, fight about alcohol. All like I just thought it was normal.
Yeah, I didn't think it I didn't I mean I'm probably sure I didn't think it was normal, but I was just like, whatever. It's not that crazy.
But it got progressively crazy.
With us?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, you know, like the first couple years was fun for us. I
Yeah.
think we had fun because it was
Yeah.
infused with alcohol and we were just going out all the time, blah blah blah, and then
I don't think we all. I also don't think we were making each other a priority. I don't.
in the beginning or
In the beginning, it was a
yeah,
priority,
no,
and then
yeah, and then we got into just a comfortable groove
yeah,
where we stopped.
yeah,
100%. There was no connection after that, you know, 5, 6, 7 years.
yeah. I think, and also when you infuse alcohol, and especially if you have somebody who is an alcoholic, um, they're not going to need the affection. Because I didn't need your affection when I was
Obviously
drinking
not, yeah.
at all.
And I'm kind of a recluse anyway, so
Yeah.
I was like, cool. Like I don't. That's one thing. I don't know if this is healthy or not. Really, I've always not needed someone. You know, I always been very very self reliant. Just being totally okay alone. You know, and maybe that's because you know all the places I've gone kind of by myself for the most part, and so I got comfortable being alone.
Right.
So that part didn't bother me.
Or do we think maybe it's because we have detachment issues?
Detachment.
Mm-hmm. I've never in my entire life seen somebody detach the way this man can,
Yeah.
which is shocking. I don't know why he didn't detach from me.
Right. All I can say is that goes to my higher power, because in any scenario, in all sense and purposes, I should have been gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
1,000%.
You would have thought that I would have like at least that would have been on my radar as a concern. No, never once.
Of my detachment?
No, I never thought like maybe he might divorce you, Danielle. You should get your shit together.
You didn't give a shit.
I don't. I'm sure if you would have approached me, I would have been devastated. But I've always like he never like gave me an ultimatum. He never approached me with like an intervention. Like
No, because at that point I didn't care. Things were so bad I didn't care. Is that what? Or are you talking?
But they were bad from the get go.
No, but we were having fun, and you know what I'm saying. It didn't get bad noticeably until after the affair.
Yeah.
Right. We were coexisting.
I think it was the introduction to the pain pills.
For you?
Yeah, I became a completely different human.
Man, I could not pinpoint that. I didn't see any difference. I just knew drunk Danielle.
The difference with the painkillers is that they kept me not passed out or anything like that.
What's that?
Oh, they remember when I accepted and then I was with that weird person and I got so frightened. So I never ever accept anybody who asks me to do host with them.
Right.
What was I gonna say? I don't know. It got so fucking bad.
Yep. But you were talking about, you keep going off on tangents, but you were gonna talk about how this happened, and we talked a little bit about it. You know, about from the beginning, and then how we got complacent with each other, and and then that happened.
Yeah. And I think it makes me sick to my stomach. But like he had kids, my kids' age, and I was so fucking goddamn bored. So fucking bored at my house. And I was like, well, I'm like, if, yeah. And that's one thing that I know for certain with me is that idle hands are the devil's fucking play shop for me. Like if I am bored, you should have an alert because boredom is not good. He's not good for you either. Like we have to keep our minds occupied in healthy ways.
Right. You know, there's a cliche thing that men say about women is they'll cheat when they get bored. And it's true.
It's
Like
1,000% true.
and it's so shallow. It's so it for men we can't comprehend that. We don't understand it.
No,
Like, what do you
and
mean
you
you're bored
shouldn't.
and go cheat? Why don't you just break up with them and then go
I
cheat and then
know.
go have a relationship with somebody? It's that's crazy.
It's fucking
It's
baffling.
fucking wild, but it happens a lot. I'm saying, like, why don't people just break up and then go do fucking what you want to do? You know,
Well, that's way too logical for a woman. That's never going to happen.
that's wild.
But like I said, like the whole thing with me, it didn't start like, oh, that's why it doesn't, that's why people don't be like, well, I'm going to go fucking break up and then cheat. Like it didn't start off like, okay, I'm going to cheat with this person. Like that was never on my fucking radar. If you would have told me that I would be cheating, that would not be something that I would be like, yeah, that's going to happen. No.
That's another thing, or like not a sidebar, or like a note to that for on the dude side is like most of us, I should say, I don't know, I can't speak for everybody, but I thought nobody would ever cheat on me. Never in a million years did I think that would happen. I had never gotten cheated on before, so maybe that's why. I was like, yeah, there's no fucking, that wasn't even a possibility. So like the shock of it too was like you're like, no way, this can't be real.
Is it shouldn't have been real. Like no woman should ever cheat. You've never given any, and if I would have come to you in a sane, sound mind and be
But
like,
that's
I'm
the problem
hurting.
is you weren't sane.
No.
Like that. Alcoholism is a fucking killer, dude. It's a killer of everything. It's a fucking tornado. And you just everything in your wake.
It's just wild.
It's like so much self-destruction.
And that's what it is. And that's the root of it. It all boils down to, and that's what I did to you. And I did that to every single man that had ever been in my life. I was like, I absolutely will not get hurt by you. I will fucking hurt you, but you're not gonna fucking hurt me.
Yeah.
1,000%. It doesn't matter who you fucking were. I was hell bent on hurting you to push you away, and I could not push you away.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm so convicted in like a relationship. I don't know what convicts me. For me, it's God. It's got to be God, right? I don't know why I'm like this, but I do have a lot of conviction in that. You know, faithfulness and all that shit. Yeah, it should mean something, you know.
Yeah. And it's weird because until I was able to like even receive love, I was incapable of looking at that, which is fucking baffling.
Yeah.
It's sad to be honest, because I don't think anybody should be that broken to where they would hurt somebody and not even realize the fucking repercussions that it could cause somebody mentally, spiritually, and like, and I was not a great human.
Yeah.
That's why we love Sober Danielle.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think we should do?
How long's it been?
Is there any questions? I can't see because of the lighting. You have to scroll up.
Oh. How long did it take you to forgive? Or what did that probably, yeah. How long did it take me to forgive? What, 2 to 3 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, we talked about this yesterday, but I held resentment and anger towards her and treated her like shit, right? Because I was still unhealthy for like 3 years, you know? And then you're probably thinking, like, how the hell did you stay together during that time? Ask God, I don't know. Right?
Yeah. And I also attribute it to my sponsor because I didn't know how to like nurture him, and I didn't know how to love him. I didn't know how to do anything like a wife should do.
Yeah.
Like at all. I knew how to have sex with you. That was about it.
That was it. And I don't know if I've ever said this before, but the sex we did have, especially even like before you had that affair, it was emotionless. Completely emotionless. Terrible.
I was not
because you weren't, obviously, no, you could, it was so really for you for sure. And then I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll just fucking dump some you know what I mean? It was just like it was a transaction.
No, but at least I did my part. It might have been terrible.
Bravo.
I think that's, honest to God, I say that like jokingly, but I swear that that's probably the one.
Well, there's another question. How did you know she was the one? And what's your advice to those looking at that moment? Oh, that's a funny question because she was the one, but like, what was I thinking? I can say now that because of God's divine plan, that this is where we are now, and like we've never been better ever, and that's very rare that ever happens. We went through fucking hell and high water to get here.
We did.
But I mean, we had, when we first met, there was a lot of nice moments together, and
oh my God, we had a blast.
We got along so well, and we just clicked real well. So
it's because I was funny.
Yeah, you're funny.
That's what he says.
Yeah, she's pretty funny.
I was funny and I had a good butt. Game over.
And you had a nice pair. Yeah, the traction obviously was there.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think we've always been super. That's never been.
Yeah, for sure. What else you got? Anything good? All right. Then there's not a whole lot of questions here, so. Anybody else have anything else?
We have a lot of viewers. It's okay.
Yep. So.
Do you want to just hit the end button, or do you want to stay on a little longer?
That doesn't matter to me. I mean, let's see.
I want to ask a question.
To me?
Yeah. I think I know the answer, but who was the first person that you told?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh man, primarily I'm very I don't like to put my dirty laundry out there, so I probably kept that to myself for a long time and didn't tell anybody. I don't remember telling anybody because I didn't want to. That's embarrassing for me. It's embarrassing for the man.
Oh yeah.
Because you're like, oh, you're just a piece of shit. She just threw you out, so why would you go telling people? But I think the first person I did tell was Christian.
Gino.
Did I tell Chino? Oh, you're right. It was Chino.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Chino.
So you were planning
Yeah.
some
Oh
things.
boy. Yeah. That could be for another time. But we have some crazy stories. Maybe we shouldn't. I mean, I don't know.
Incriminating.
Yeah. What was your first pickup line?
I hit on him.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Tell him. That should have been a red flag. Because we were at a holiday party. I went because I just moved here from Minnie, and then I knew a girl here. I was just platonic friends with her too, like for real. I know she was just she was my friend, and I went to a holiday party. She worked with her, and I remember you sitting across the table with her boyfriend. The fucking that right, and then like I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, whatever. I just went home and then the girl I was friends with called me. She's like, "Hey, Danielle wants your number. Can I give it to her?" I'm like, "Danielle, fuck is that?" She's like, "It was a girl at the party with the boyfriend." I'm like, the fuck?
That's what she said.
Yeah. And then
She is not a
and then
girl's girl.
what was that social
MySpace
for you old fucks out there. The young kids aren't gonna know probably, but that app was fire.
Dude, the best.
MySpace was awesome.
He was in my top 10.
Absolutely. Yeah, so then I went and looked at your MySpace to see what you look like. I was like, oh shit. Maybe I should look into this. So yeah, that's how it happened.
Yeah, I sent him a message on MySpace.
Yep.
Slid in his DM.
And then our first date was rock bottom.
Yes.
Yep. And it was rock bottom. That should have been foreshadowing. Rock bottom.
You ain't lying.
He definitely did more than looking into it.
What'd he say?
No, I don't think I did actually.
What'd he say?
He said, "You definitely did more than looking into it."
He's my favorite. This guy, he tells me I have an infinite cookout invite.
Oh yeah. He ain't denying it. I am denying. I honestly didn't. I didn't. No, I don't think I did.
What happened?
He ain't denying it.
Denying what?
I just read it.
I didn't hear you.
Well, it's he said he did a lot more than looking into it, which means I probably looked at your pictures but I don't think I didn't. I swear. I would admit that.
That went way over my head. Way over my head.
Oh. That's pretty funny. Yeah. That's how it happened. That's how
I should have. I'm just thinking of our whole story. The way that he proposed to me should have been.
Oh yeah, well you could save that too for another time because that's a good story.
But think about that. That's the way you propose to me.
Not judgment.
They don't ever judge me.
No, I don't think they're talking about you.
They don't judge you.
At least in the dreams. It's kind of funny. He might have been innocent physically, but in his thoughts, he definitely was tapping.
Mm-hmm. No. He was so in it. You should have seen the way he drove.
If there's anybody from the Midwest in here, you know that we drive slow in the Midwest. And then so when I came here, I drove slow. I drove the same way I did there. Now it's different.
I thought you were like a unicorn.
No, it's pretty much everybody from the Midwest, I think, for the most part, especially in Minnie.
But I don't think you'd been corrupted.
I'm from Canadian version of the Midwest. Yeah, what's that? Minnesota? The Canadian version of the Midwest is Minnesota, Michigan. Yeah. Saskatchewan.
Oh, is that Neo?
Yeah.
Saskatchewan. I bet him.
Is he into hockey?
Yes. Remember that hockey, the USA and Canada?
Yeah.
I lost.
That was a great game.
I lost.
Does Neo play? Do you play hockey?
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, that's another thing that saved me. Fuck, he did.
I'm surprised you haven't mentioned that yet.
Because it has no relevance as of right now.
I think
Not in what we're talking about.
your mental, yeah.
Because I didn't start playing until a couple years ago. Again. Yep, just beer league. Yeah, me too, man. Just beer league. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of other stuff that we could talk about. Some crazy stories for sure.
We have a lot of crazy stories.
Yeah, for sure.
We're like drinking buddies.
We were.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people don't know that. You got fucked up.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you could keep up with me, you knew. But I think I always
No, I couldn't. I'd end up passing out, and you would just keep going. That's the difference.
I know. It's ridiculous.
But all right, I think that's it.
Okay.
All
we
right.
will be back.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get this figured out, but we're starting.
Yep.
That's the hardest part. Okay, love you guys.
Sayonara.
Bye.